Peace of the Lord be with you all, my beloved. Planning events for the youth in our churches has become a challenge for the youth committees during the pandemic. But the internet has made it possible to socialize and be united despite the challenges faced. Due to the social network availability, the youth committees was able to plan various events and activities using a lot of platforms such as Zoom. St Behnam's youth committees is among one of the best examples in our churches of the youth servants who use the grace of the internet to communicate with each other. Father Matta and the youth servants work very hard to organize many different spiritual, fun, and social events. And now I will leave you with this video that Ask Abuna website team and St Behnam youth servants explaining the details for you about their events and what they use for getting the benefit for their youth. We wish you will enjoy this video and take an example for your youth to glorify the Lord and get the benefit for them. May the Lord be with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Zaid Afrim.
Hi, my name is Aus Hannashmouni.
And we serve at the St Behnam Syriac Orthodox Church in Canada, Ontario. We're part of the Spiritual Committee for the Youth. Now, the purpose of the Spiritual Committee is to help the youth nurture their relationship with God by planning and organizing spiritual events such as the liturgy, the Bible studies, and even youth discussions. Now, we're going to be talking about each of these events in detail throughout this video. The Spiritual Committee also communicates with Abuna in order to organize the events and sometimes coordinates with guest speakers. Now, after the events have been approved, we communicate that to the Administration Committee where they create posters and they broadcast it to the youth through social media, as well as remind the youth when it gets closer to the event. Now, the first event we're going to be talking about is the liturgy, so I'll pass it on to Aus to speak to us about that.
Okay, for the liturgy, we work with Abuna to prepare for the English liturgy once a month. We work also with the deacons and the choir to practice and divide the duties, such as reading letters ahead of time. Since the start of the pandemic, we have been using many platforms to broadcast the English liturgy, such as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
The second event we're going to be talking about is the Bible study. So as I explain more about the Bible study event, I'll also be going through the slides, which contain previous Bible study announcements to help you get a feel of the type of topics that we've selected. Now, we usually meet before the beginning of the school year and select a theme for the entire year. For example, the parables of Jesus Christ or the Old Testament characters. Now, the Bible study topics are selected based on that theme, and we ensure they build on one another. They're usually scheduled once a month. Now, we're pretty flexible in the topics as well. Sometimes we like to see what the youth interest is or what their spiritual needs are and select different topics that might not be related to the theme. Now, since the start of the pandemic, we have been utilizing the Zoom software to hold the Bible studies for the youth. Now, these Zoom links are posted with this video in order to support you with implementing these events. Now, believe it or not, some of our youth actually prefer listening to the Bible studies in English. So we provide live translation after we divide the participants into two groups, English and Arabic. How do we do that? Well, the host for the Zoom meeting requests from the participants to notify him or her if they prefer English or Arabic through the chat. And the host creates a breakout room and assigns the participants that prefer English to the English breakout room or assigns the participants who prefer Arabic to the Arabic breakout room. The translator then joins the Zoom meeting with two different devices, either a computer, phone, or a tablet, in order to be present in the English breakout room and Arabic breakout room at the same time. For example, if you have two breakout rooms, one in English, one in Arabic, the translator would listen in from one device that has been utilized to join the first breakout room and translate to the participants that are present in the second breakout room through the second device. I know it's a bit complicated, but hopefully this short description can help you implement this live translation. Don't forget to look at the Zoom links. Now I'll pass it on to Aus, who's going to be talking to us about the youth discussions.
Okay, while I'm talking about the youth discussion, Zaid will take us to our previous youth discussion. The youth discussion is scheduled once a month. The main focus of the youth discussion is to engage the youth and provide them with the opportunity to share their opinions and thoughts. The discussion's topic doesn't need necessarily to be related to the theme of the year. It can be based on the suggestion of the youth or any other needs. Depending on the selection topic, the youth might be divided based on age or language. This will allow the leaders presenting the topic to provide practical examples that are more related to the age group and deliver the message in a clear way. If we decide to split the participant, the host of the Zoom meeting create multi breakout rooms and assign the participant to these rooms. We also use another feature of the Zoom, which is the polling. And for some previous examples, we share a video or articles on Zoom and ask the youth for their opinions. Also, we use the devotion, which means we share PowerPoint slides for certain Bible passages and ask the youth to read it and meditate it on their own for some times. After that, we reflect on that passage and we share thought-provoking questions for each Bible passage in order to engage the youth. And also we have another idea for the future. We might schedule a prayer night based on the youth needs, such as like exams, sickness, and other needs. The Zoom software might be an option for this prayer night. So the youth can join the meeting Zoom and practice with us in the prayer night and we join together. We can ask the youth to share their prayer request on Zoom chat throughout the prayer nights.
Now, these are just brief descriptions of the events. Hopefully this helps. Now, of course, you're free to implement this or a variation of these. Hopefully this was helpful.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sam, and I'm with SEMA. We're from the Social Committee of St Behnam Syriac Orthodox Church in North York, Ontario, Canada. And basically, the purpose of our committee is organizing fun and social events. So we, among others, combine together and we plan and organize fun social events. We coordinate scheduling with the Buna and the other committees to ensure that there's no scheduling conflicts.
We also prepare the schedule for any fun or social events, which take place once every 2 months to ensure that the youth don't become overwhelmed with our events. And we also communicate with the administration committee to set dates for any social or fun event, in addition to preparing the posters and the Zoom details.
All right, now in terms of the type of games that we play over Zoom, these are some of the games over the last year or so that we've tried out with our youth that seem to have worked or garnered a very good response from them. So one of the first games that we've ever played is Pictionary, which I'm sure most of you may already know how to play. So for those who don't, you're essentially drawing a picture online in a group full of other of your fellow youth, and you're essentially trying to guess what it is that you actually drew as a picture. One of the other games that we also played was called actually Guess the Picture. So we would give random pictures of maybe monuments or cities or actors, actresses, celebrities, movie clips, artists, singers, and we asked the youth to try and guess who or what that is. So that also seemed to be a very effective game. One of the other games we used to play was Mafia. We included the description of what that game is within our PowerPoint. So please feel free to take a look at the game and find out exactly the intricate details of the game. Although it is long, it's also very, very fun. So I do recommend trying it out and playing it with your youth. One of the other games that we do also play with our youth are charades. For those of you who don't know what charades are, it's just essentially choosing a word or an action or a thing, and the person has to try and act that word or thing out without saying anything, basically, to the youth. And the youth just have a limited amount of time to guess what that thing or what the person is trying to act out, so they can score a point. And last but not least, one of the other games that we took time to play over the last year or so was just basic trivia. So we would make a question list of about 100 questions and ask our youth various questions. They could be random trivial knowledge. It could be spiritual, pop culture, whatever the case may be. Everything's fair game, and we included all of that into our trivia night game selection list. So all these are some of the games we've played over the course of the last year.
So for the social events we organized over Zoom are the following. We did tea time, we did a fundraising event, and we did paint night. So for the paint night, we had a few options, and the youth voted over Facebook on the picture that they liked to paint. For this event, we invited professional artists to lead the event. The youth only had to purchase a palette, a canvas, a cloth, brushes, and acrylic paint. For the tea time, it was also one of the events for the series that we called Countdown Till Christmas. We set 2 different Zoom links for each gender, and the event consisted of fun events, fun activities, and a discussion. And we also had a fundraising event. The fundraising event took place for 2 months from November to December. We raised money for sick kids, and we did them all virtually. We did this event to donate and help fund the fight against the greatest challenges in child health. Our goal was to sell a minimum of 100 tickets, and all the money we would collect was all going to sick kids, but we actually sold 700 tickets, and we had 25 winners, and our prizes were all funded by sponsors.
The third subcommittee that we have within the youth committee is the admin committee. Now, the admin committee is mainly in charge of preparing the calendars of events for the youth, preparing posters and messages for the events that are prepared through Facebook, and also we have this new initiative of preparing posters of Bible verses and passages to encourage the youth. Now, in preparing the calendar, we take the information from our spiritual committee and our social committee, and we either use PowerPoint or Canva.com, that's Canva.com, and they basically have templates that we can use in preparing our calendars. We customize our calendars to say that it's St Behnam Church at the top, and we also have our other social media accounts at the bottom. Now, the calendars are typically prepared few days before the next month, just so that the youth have them in advance. We also prepare Facebook events, and with those we prepare posters, which we also use PowerPoint or Canva.com. Now, with those 2 programs, you have the option of being creative and customizing them the way you'd like. So taking pictures from online through Google searches, or even your own pictures, and placing the posters the way you'd like. Or with Canva.com, you have more of templates, so you can select a picture, and you'll be able to select from various templates to prepare the poster. The messages within the Facebook events are typically same details as the poster, but we also include a little bit more of a description of what the topic is going to be about for the event. Now, one thing to note about Facebook events, in order to invite all the members of your Facebook group, you have to ensure that your Facebook group is under 500 members. It's a restriction that Facebook has, and it's become one of our responsibilities on the admin committee to ensure that our members stay under 500. Otherwise, you're only able to invite your mutual friends within that group when you're preparing the event. Now, glory be to God, if you have more than 500 members and they're all youth, you might have to find a different way to invite all the members, or just try to advertise it more. For us, it is under 500, so we basically go through ensuring that it's only the youth that are included in the group, rather than parents or youth from 15 years ago. Our third initiative is preparing posters of Bible passages and Bible verses, and we also do this through Canva.com. We do this once every 2 weeks, and we just find it's a nice way to encourage the youth in their day-to-day lives through Scripture. I hope this is helpful, and glory be to God for everything and bringing us together, and I hope and pray that this will help you as well.